One of the last liturgies I wrote for my Injury+Pardon TikTok account said this: "As we journey, as we travel, we choose paths. Often we wonder if the paths we have chosen, that we have embraced, that we continue to journey on, are the right paths." I was putting into poetic words the place I found myself, moving from a long-lived faith based on religious beliefs to a space of agnostic atheism. It's not a unique journey, and many of you, like me, have been on that path. When I created my social media account, Injury+Pardon, I was in the midst of my deconstruction. I was discovering how my life had been affected by religious trauma, and I was finding that I didn't have to be chained to the religion I had believed in all my life, that I had served in for a good part of my life, and by which I had often judged others and their life choices. So I wrote liturgies of deconstruction, of social justice, and of affirmation, of sexual freedom, of recognition of systemic and personal racism, of the trauma of judgment, many more topics. And along the way, a few of you found them helpful. I tried to be an encourager and a friend to others on this journey of deconstruction, especially on social platforms. But many of you along the way became my friends. Some of you have become practically my family and my support system. I didn't share much on TikTok or social media about my personal struggles. While my marriage of 22 years had already been slowly coming apart, my deconstruction really put irreparable tears into the fabric of the marriage. And at the same time, I was struggling with severe depression and anxiety and panic attacks. I was trying to kind of live a double life, recognizing my beliefs no longer aligned with what my family believed in and my wife believed in, but I was too afraid to step out and step away. But in April of this year, I finally made a tough decision to separate from my wife. It was more than just my disbelief. It was the result of years of a failing relationship. I certainly played a role in that failure. But what I recognized was that the very thing that was causing the bulk of my anxiety, depression, and panic attacks were caused by my attempts at appeasement, by feeling stuck within a space that led to fear and guilt. Fast forward a few months, and just this past week, my divorce became finalized and the final agreements were reached. And while I recognize that a lot of injury came out of these past few months, there has also come some pardon, the freedom of being who I always was under the facade of religiosity. But that, of course, too, has come with a cost, many really, and I don't want to be seen as a victim. I'm not. I recognize the injury that I caused, the role I played in this season. Yet there is a lack of pardon that strikes at my financial stability in this season of transition. I've given up a lot of my finances, my savings, my equity, my earnings over the past 6 months in order to make things as easy as possible for my ex. And they say no good deed goes unpunished, and there have been recent days where that seems very true. The divorce settlement will mean I won't recoup any of those lost finances, and I'll be paying a very large monthly maintenance to my ex for the next 2 decades. But I'm moving forward with my life. I decided early on that I wanted to move to Austin, Texas to start fresh, and I have begun that process, and I'm excited about my future there. But this, of course, also comes with costs, which is why I've created this GoFundMe. I want to start off on a strong foot. I'm already applying for new jobs in the Austin market that should enable me to afford to pay maintenance to my ex and allow to pay for my living expenses. But with my savings already gone as part of this settlement, I would like to build up enough to cover the costs of the move and to put a little bit away to help provide for any unexpected expenses. So back to liturgies. I've not written many in a while. I've not really written any in a while, but I'd like to offer some new liturgies as a way of saying thank you should you decide to support my fresh start. I put together a few reward options that include new liturgies. You can read more about them on the GoFundMe page. And I'd love to share my thanks should you choose to support this new season of my life. But whether you choose to make a donation or not, know that I am so thankful for how these experiences have allowed our paths to cross. And I hope that as my new season now begins, I can once again provide new liturgies that provide hope in this journey of injury and pardon. Thank you guys. I love you. And